It's the middle of the night in a Uruguayan prison hospital, and a patient has just flatlined. The harsh beep of the heart monitor stops, and the clinical reality fades to a dark, ethereal fog. In this luminal, 2-hour gap between life and death, the patient, a cybersecurity expert named Alberto Daniel Hill, experiences a profound vision. He is confronted by the spirit of his mentor, the Emmy-winning American composer Allan Jay Friedman. Allan delivers a grim message. The corrupt forces of the state have finally won. Allan explains that the global elites have successfully seized Alberto's hardware. An encrypted Corsair drive holding Allan's lifelong political research, a highly sensitive manuscript detailing a global financial conspiracy, has been left to die in a police evidence locker, taking its secrets with it. But Alberto reveals his ultimate countermeasure. The physical drives sitting in the police locker were effectively a decoy. The blueprints of the elite's architecture, the specific historical record of financial control used to enforce global compliance, survive intact on decentralized cloud backups. With that realization, the fog violently dissolves. Alberto gasps back into the physical world, blinded by the stark white lights of the intensive care unit in Durazno. He has just survived a 2-hour coma, which leaves us with a massive question. How did an innocent computer engineer in South America end up clinically dead under police guard, serving as the sole digital guardian of the global financial elite's darkest secrets? To understand how Alberto ended up in that hospital bed, we have to jump back to September 2017 in Montevideo, Uruguay. A local medical provider had received a generic ransomware email demanding Bitcoin. The Uruguayan police, lacking basic digital forensic skills, traced a prior helpful vulnerability report back to Alberto. They launched Operation Bitcoins, a militarized raid on his apartment. The execution of the search warrant was a masterclass in forensic incompetence. Authorities indiscriminately seized standard diagnostic hardware and a novelty Guy Fawkes mask. They confiscated plastic, commemorative Bitcoin coins, parading these physical novelties to the media as the actual digital currency of a cybercriminal. By sweeping up over 30 hard drives and encrypted flash drives, the police inadvertently captured something far more volatile than a misattributed hacking case. They had just seized the only existing analog backups of Allan Jay Friedman's explosive life's work. This diagram outlines the seized manifesto, the Camelot Conspiracy. It exposes a master scheme by a clandestine collective of international bankers and secret societies controlling the global economy through the privately owned Federal Reserve System, enslaving the nation through perpetual debt. The historical stakes of challenging this system are absolute. The research claims President John F. Kennedy was assassinated because he signed Executive Order 1110. This order authorized the issuance of silver certificates, like the one shown here, which directly bypassed the Federal Reserve's monopoly by creating debt-free treasury currency. For possessing this dangerous data, Alberto paid an extreme physical price. Following a coerced confession to protect his family, he was subjected to a 17-month incarceration in freezing, overcrowded Uruguayan prisons. Inside, he was thrust into a brutal hierarchy. He was forced to participate in daily boxing matches for the entertainment of other inmates. Further compounding this torture, a mysterious figure known as Javier began visiting him, using severe extortion tactics to try and force Alberto to hack a national bank. The crushing stress of this state-sponsored trauma and constant coercion eventually broke his body. This severe physiological collapse led directly to the 2-hour coma in the intensive care unit. This series of events tracks with the master scheme Allan warned about. The state-sponsored trauma and the judicial framing functioned as intended, removing the messenger to keep the system's secrets in the dark. But the system failed to kill him. When Alberto snaps awake in that hospital bed, he carries the clarity of his vision, ready to fight the systemic war he now understands with absolute precision. Upon his release from prison, Alberto executes a massive strategic pivot. Instead of hiding from the state that tortured him, he goes on the offensive. He embraces the role of a cyber-martyr by writing the book Log In to Hell. By seizing control of his own story, he leverages his trauma to become a globally recognized authority on cybersecurity, ethics, and digital rights. The shadow elite rely on outdated, analog methods of information control, like sealing the Warren Commission's JFK assassination files in a physical vault until 2029. Alberto, however, operates with a mastery of modern, asymmetric digital warfare. He completely bypasses the compromised traditional media networks that the banking cartel controls. By utilizing the decentralized internet and cloud storage, he ensures that the master scheme data is widely available to the public long before that 2029 deadline. The physical evidence may be rusting in a forgotten police locker, but the data is already weaponized in the cloud. By using international privacy laws and decentralized storage, one person has disrupted the architecture of a global conspiracy before its creators could finish the job.